There might be birds around the little wall in front of the house. I always put crumbs on it for them. Brutal assassination in San Casciano. Giulia Kay, a young woman from a respectable family, brutally murdered near her home. Carabinieri investigates. A possible political motive emerges. Martha was not killed by politics or war. She was killed by something much closer and much less clear. I will find out the truth. Firm bulwark even in the skies. 159 aircraft of the Germanic defense shot down in 24 hours. Major Russian operation northwest of Jassy. Enemy convoy lost in the Mediterranean. 2 destroyers and 6 merchant vessels sunk. First improvements in food registration. Bread rations increased by 50 grams per day as of April 20th. A kilo more every month of soup ingredients. Reforms to the treatment of agricultural workers and an unexpected distribution of jam. Giulia Kay. Distressed but supported by faith. Irenei the mother, Erich the father, and Martha the sister sadly announced Giulia's passing. The funeral will take place in La Romola, Thursday, July 20th at 9:30 p.m., departing from the property of the deceased. Chocolate, a privilege for few people in these times. These plates are not ours. Nanny left them here. I remember them well. Daddy says that our wine, which is produced here, is extraordinary. I hate wine. I prefer beer. Mummy's family coat of arms. I liked watching Nanny as she cooked. I always picked up loads of techniques. Dante's Inferno illustrated by Dore. Always hanging cheery things. War. Always war. Even in paintings. One of Daddy's many photos. Who knows who these other people are? These masks, I remember them vividly. I always tried to escape their gaze. We are so lucky. In these difficult times, pantries are empty and people are going hungry. But with a German general for a father, food is never scarce. Lorenzini haberdashery. 5 meters of grey cotton fabric. 6 meters of white linen fabric. 4 meters of green satin. Delivered on June 5th, 1944. In the event of an issue, contact us on the number 6987. And this red fabric? It's not been mentioned. Could this also be one of Mummy's, or could the nanny have left it here? These could be of use to me. Mummy's sewing machine. She learnt how to sew because nobody else could do it to her liking. Mummy's medicine. Will they do her any good? This fabric is not new to me, yet I do not think I have ever seen it in the house. Our wine. Daddy is so proud of it. Daddy set up his darkroom here. He doesn't take photos anymore because of his work, but photography is still his true passion. I'm allowed to use the darkroom when I want to. Daddy had this device brought here last week. It's old, but still works. He has always loved everything technological. Before I can use the enlarger, I should take a photo. There are 3 baths when developing photos. The development bath, then the first rinse, and then the fixing bath. The second rinse is done directly in the sink afterwards.
Oggi Bonsi, on the day of St. Alexis, the battle rages in the
Florence,
city
July
tormented by
15th,
Anglo-American
1944.
bombing.
General
Our Lady
Erich
of
K.
Carmel, a company of the
As per
Falchion
our prior
Regiment,
agreement, we are
counterattacked
sending you
yesterday,
military encrypted
forcing
communication
the French to
material.
retreat to
The
Piazza
device
del
must remain
Mercato.
hidden and
The
secret.
situation is
Hail.
currently under control.
Feld Mascherallo, Carl H. What the hell? For a moment I thought I saw... No, that's not possible. There must be this whole situation making me see things that don't exist. Old photographs that father took of this house. My bike. The wheel is deflated as usual. A bicycle pump will solve this. Here's the bicycle pump. Excellent. I've taken the picture, now it's straight to the darkroom in the cellar to print it. Daddy recently became a general in the German army. He used to take pictures on the front lines, but now he gives me the materials to take photographs instead. Now that Martha is gone, only this camera can fix my ideas and my memories. I can't allow myself to forget. I came here to fish when I was little. I went with that ever so kind man who worked for my father. Who knows where he is now? Maybe he joined the war too. I always wanted to swim here when I was with Nanny, even when it was cold. I was afraid of animals when I was little. I never approached them alone. Best to stay close to home, at least for now. This is the centre of our farm, but since we moved here, it hasn't worked like it used to. Security matters, Daddy says. Not a bad photograph. It seems that the camera works perfectly. Now I can take a self-timed photo for Martha's frame. I don't like wine all that much, but I go crazy for our dessert wine. It is very sweet. Camera is set up with the self-timer. These workbenches fascinate me. I would love to learn carpentry. This is where Nanny's husband made my dolls. The puppets I used to play with were made here. I never knew that when I was a child. They always told me that a fairy brought them. I didn't really believe them, but it was nice to think that. When I was little, these barrels seemed enormous. I thought I could live inside one. It's always a thrill to develop a photo. You can't see anything at first, yet something invisible is captured on the black film, a kind of ghost. That invisible breath then returns to reveal the reality from which it was torn. There are those who say that photography steals the soul or captures it. That's why they used to photograph the dead. But nowadays, almost nobody does it anymore. Even if it's just a delusion, I want to photograph Martha. I want to have a small reflection of who she was with me. But I have to do it secretly or they'll think I'm crazy. Yes, this is me. No one was ever able to tell us apart. But I never had the slightest doubt, and nor did Martha. It's strange how what identifies us most deeply is not visible to anyone. I was obsessively thinking about Martha and what had happened. But suddenly, a thought took control. The memory of that day at the lake was becoming more and more like a dream when, after awakening, the image becomes more and more faded. Could it be that the memories were a figment of the mind? Had I been the one that hurt my sister? I had always envied her, and now I had taken her identity. I experienced a suffocating pattern of thoughts. I decided to go straight to the lake to retrieve the film rolls. They would tell a different story, I was sure. But deep down, I kept hoping they would confirm my fading memory. Of course the door is locked. The keys aren't hanging on the lock as usual, then they will be in Daddy's study. We live in fear now. My parents are not going to let me go to the lake anymore after Martha's death. So this is the right time. I need to know. The self-doubt I feel is eating me up. I don't have the courage to use the phone. Not right now. July 18th. Everything has changed. I feel like a different person. The best part of me left with Martha. My enthusiasm, my desire to live, and the will to joke around. I find myself alone, left to my own devices, confused with no desire or expectations. I was handling the cameras at the lake and there was a floating body on the water. I don't remember what I was doing before. Yet another memory lapse. That lifeless body was Martha's, my sister. Mummy ran up to me and hugged me, thinking I was Martha and that I, Julia, was dead. I didn't correct her mistake, and now it's too late. If they find out I have been fooling everyone, I don't even want to think about it. I feel terribly guilty pretending to be Martha, pretending to be deaf. I took the photo for Martha's frame. I know it's too late now, and I felt incredible pain placing the picture. I said goodbye to her forever in that moment. I realized she was gone, and there was no going back. I must do one thing for Martha. I must find out what happened. The partisans couldn't have killed her. That's just ridiculous. Lapo is my friend, and he is one of them. He loved us so much. We know all of them, so it's just impossible. It's dark and I can't turn on the lights. It's dangerous. I'll need a flash for the camera. I can look for it amongst Daddy's things in the room below his bedroom. I don't have the courage to use the phone. Not right now. Here's the camera flash. Now I can photograph Martha even in the dark. Daddy's stuff. War maps. I've heard everything will play out on this new defensive line. Done. It would be nice to have you always by my side, even if it's just a picture. It's dangerous using a gas lamp indoors. I could set something on fire. I should put the lamp down before entering the house. A lens and a roll of infrared film. They can photograph what the naked eye cannot see. With this lens, I can shoot very close up. Blue filter, ideal for indoor photos. Orange filter, when there is fog, it improves the image by giving it some contrast. A photograph is both the present and the past, like a dead body. I don't know what I'm expecting. Maybe it's silly to think you can capture the soul of someone who has died. Her face can no longer tell me if what happened was my fault. I should have known that already. All I can do is head to the lake and get those rolls. I love the night, but this night scares me. In the dark, I can feel all the harm I've caused. It's getting closer with each step. I feel it brushing up against me like a cold wind. I hurt Martha. The closer I get to the lake, the more certain I am of this. How could it not be? I killed her to steal the love that everyone felt for her but didn't feel for me. How could I have done such a thing? German soldiers. Daddy ordered patrols to be carried out near the house, but how could they have lost a helmet? God only knows. Oh no! Damn lamp! Luckily I still have my lighter with me. The cameras are somewhere around here. Two cameras left. fabric here in the woods. How strange. Let's take a photo of it. One more camera to collect. How could it have ended up here? It looks familiar. That's it. I've got them all. These films are going to help me understand what happened. Now I should rush home to develop them. Oh, yet another nightmare. She entered my dreams once more. Maybe she wants to talk to me. What am I saying? Fairy tales coming true. Yet I feel... No, these are the thoughts of a crazy person, and I'm not crazy. Oh, damn it, what's all this blood? I'm not due yet, and there's a lot more than usual. What's happening to me? Am I going to be joining Martha sooner than I thought? I have to wash up and do what needs to be done. If I'm sick, I have little time. The truth awaits me. It must be hidden within those rolls. What am I thinking? I would stain my clothes with blood. What am I thinking? I would stain my clothes with blood. What am I thinking? I would stain my clothes with blood. That's better. But I still don't understand all of that blood. That's never happened to me before. But I'm not going to tell my doctor. Otherwise he'll make me stay in bed and rest. This dress is only for special occasions. I'm already dressed. It's very rude, but I could pick up the phone and listen to their conversation.
How are you doing today, Rennie?
I'm worried, Father. Very worried. We found more partisan tracks in the woods, right next to the house. That Lapo, I suspect he may be involved in the death of...
No, please don't say that. It's not possible. I know the boy and I don't...
Father, anything is possible in these dark times. Anything. That boy didn't even come to say goodbye to Julia. Didn't they love each other dearly?
He must be terribly scared, and Julia always used to say that.
Yeah, sure, she used to say they were just friends, but you know too, right? Friends are not supposed to do such things, Father. Or are they? But anyway, you're defending them both. You, my husband, and even the nanny who, deep down, is a good woman.
The nanny. I believe the nanny is the one who hurt Julia. With her evil passion for those cards. They are cursed things. I hope you made them disappear.
Of course. I keep them safe in my room. Anyway, you must forgive me, Father. I have to go. They've come to pick me up. Have a good day.
You too.
Lapo's involved in Martha's death. My mother is losing her mind again. How could anyone even imagine such nonsense? And Don Attilio, he is a great friend, but what a weird view. Those cards are just a game, but most importantly, they're mine. Why on earth did they take them from me?
Following the dramatic news from the countryside, Archbishop Toccarelli will protest with the French in the city for the raping being committed by invading troops.
25
New
ISO film.
ordinance for
When the sun is
safety
high in
of
the sky,
citizens.
it's perfect.
From this moment on, it is forbidden for anyone to leave their homes and walk
General
the streets
Edict
of San
K.
Cassiano.
New
All
rules on
windows,
curfew and
including
women's
cellars,
behaviour.
house entrances,
German
and
command
doorways,
of S.
must
Vincenzo
remain
Arturi.
closed night and
Telephone
day.
number
The population
1185.
are advised to stay in their cellars, or, where these do not exist, churches and other large buildings. The patrols of German
The
armed
radio
forces
needs to be
have
kept on
orders
at all
to shoot
times
at
these
people
days.
who are on
It
the
can
street,
save your life knowing
or who
things
are
on
found
time,
looking out of
especially
their
before they
windows.
happen.
I shall repeat for clarity. New ordinance for the safety of citizens. From this moment on, it is forbidden for anyone to leave their homes and walk the streets of San Cassiano. All windows, including cellars, house entrances, and doorways, must remain closed night and day. The population are advised to stay in their cellars, or, where these do not exist, churches and other large buildings. The patrols of German armed forces have orders
Dear
to
Mother,
shoot at people who
this is
are on the
hard,
street,
but I have something to
or
tell
who
you.
are found looking out of
I
their
found
windows.
out that Julia is pregnant. Go to the lake tomorrow morning at 7 and watch her as she bathes. You'll see that her tummy is growing. Martha. What? I'm not pregnant. Why is everything becoming even more confusing? I'm searching for an explanation, but instead I'm left with more questions. Pervertin again. I feel like these pills do nothing other than agitate her. Romola, 15th of July 1944. Dear Mrs. Irene, I'm writing to let you know that all is well here at the villa. Thank you for being so considerate and caring. I apologise for the simplicity of the housing you were forced to live in. I also locked the room where the little one used to stay as requested. I've left you the key. It is the one with the pink keyring. Try to stay safe. Best regards, Nanny. Why on earth did Mummy have that door locked? It was my room. What is she trying to hide? Here are my cards. Nanny and I always used to play with them. She would predict my future and I pretended to predict hers. The future was always good for everyone. Maybe when she read them, she saw my true future which she hid from me. Or more likely, these cards are actually just a stupid game to reassure and deceive oneself with. But deceiving oneself is sometimes necessary. How can we live happily otherwise? There are more and more weapons around, and everyone is scared after what happened. This is Mummy's jewellery. She wears them every day, even though Daddy says it's impractical and dangerous to show signs of wealth these days. As usual, she doesn't want to listen to reason and ends up arguing with Daddy until he goes to play war, as she says. The keys to my old room are not here. Where are they? She leaves them everywhere. I think she's having too many and too often. Nets for catching butterflies, poor creatures. I had so much fun with them. the end of a relationship. It's very clear, but my plans will be successful. I only need to know what these plans are. The Superior Commander of the German Federal Armed Forces announces: 1. Whoever is in possession of weapons or explosives not reported to the German headquarters will be shot. 2. Whoever harbors bandits and/or protects them and provides them with clothing and/or weapons will be shot. 3. Whoever is aware of the existence of any rebel groups or even lone rebels without reporting them will be shot. Italian workers in Germany. The following rules are in place for workers who voluntarily work in Germany. A commitment of a maximum period of 1 year before returning to Italy. The Superior Commander of the German Federal Armed Forces announces: 1. Whoever is in war rages on the Eastern Front. An attack launched by the Soviets after hours of cannonade. The fight on this front has been going on for a long time. Fighting in Normandy. Victorious Germanic counterattack on the road from Perrières to Carentan. Pont Heber reconquered north of Saint-Lô. Many US losses caused by the flying bomb action. With this lens, everything gets bigger. Red filter for super high contrast photos. This lens increases the framed area. It allows me to fit more into the image. I have to be careful and keep the volume down as I listen. I must go unnoticed. I am meant to be deaf after all.
Ready? Julia? You ready?
Sure, Daddy. I'm good to start.
I've already started recording.
Oh no, my voice will sound awful.
No way, come on. Didn't you want to study singing anyway?
No, I was young and stupid when I said that.
Okay, ready?
Go. Oh, how nice. It's the rehearsal for last week's concert. I never heard the recording. But I was right, my voice is awful. Cannot be called singing. Anyway, it's time I develop these film roles. I can't wait any longer. I wish I could just stop time. These images could change everything. I cannot bear the fact that I may have hurt Martha. I would rather die. Damn my head and these memory lapses. It's such a pain not remembering. It's like getting lost inside yourself. Yes, I've undressed and I'm about to dive in. This matches my memory. Here I was running toward the pier, just as I remember. I'm carrying Martha to shore. I'm trying to save her. My memories, although fuzzy, do match reality. I feel a little better. Now I can find out who really hurt Martha. Maybe I should meet with the White Lady. She might be able to tell me something. Is this crazy talk? Yes, definitely, but what's normal about any of this? Maybe you have to be a little crazy to get anything done. A tripod is necessary to take photos with long exposures. I have found what I need to take infrared photos. What is this, a joke? Maybe someone wrote on the film? Also, what does that even mean? Light, like divine light? Something to do with religion, maybe?
Los, schnappen wir uns diese... Los! Hey, hey! Los geht's! Hier lang! Hier drüben! Oh, hey! Vorwärts! Hier! Sie sind da lang! Verdammt! Los, laufen!
What is going on here? What are the soldiers doing? It's dangerous, I know, but I want to follow them and see what's happening.
Verdammt!
Oh God, please no. Lapo, my dear friend. What have they done to you? Your handkerchief was the symbol of what you believed in. At least that is left of you. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone and I cannot reconcile myself.
Du hast ein Mädchen erschossen, du Idiot.
Scheiße, scheiße, scheiße! Was machen wir jetzt? Sieh mal, was sie um ihren Hals hat. Sie ist eine von ihnen. Es musste getan werden.
Sie ist die Tochter von General Erich K., du verdammter Trottel. Sie war die Freundin von diesem armen Kerl. Oh, verdammt, jetzt sind wir wirklich am Arsch.
Scheiße, lass uns abhauen.
Aber sie lebt noch. Sie liegt im Sterben. Siehst du, wo du sie getroffen hast? Sie ist bestimmt schon tot. Wir müssen jetzt abhauen, sonst sind wir auch bald tot.
I'm dying, I thought, but strangely enough, I wasn't afraid. In fact, I was almost relieved. When I returned, I found myself once again in the midst of a bad dream. One whose meaning I did not understand at the time. I give you back your memories. I give you back your memories. I give you back your memories. I give you back. I give you back your words. I give you back your words. I give you back your words.
Two sisters were destined to die. Julia, the first sister, and Martha, the second. On Julia's day of departing, identical twins stood before me, impossible to tell apart. They questioned my presence, since they were still so young. Julia must come with me, I demanded, but they both claimed to be Martha. I explained that Martha's fate was soon to be the same, and their games were useless. I didn't have time for it. The war was keeping me busy. But they didn't concede, and instead kept insisting. Can we follow you together? No, impossible. Are you sure Martha will die too? Nothing is certain in wartime. What if the wrong person went with you? Then you would have cheated death. One would die unjustly, and the other would simply be delaying her fate. They discussed amongst themselves, then hugged before one of them came forward. She stared in a determined, almost threatening manner. I guessed it was Martha sacrificing herself, giving more time to her sister. But I stayed silent, not to reveal their failed deception. No one lies to the face of their own death. So I asked how their choice was reached. We drew lots by throwing a medallion, she said quietly. They had trusted in fate. Oh, how naive they were. They knew fate plays by its own rules, which is true, but it is also my ally. Fate never would have allowed the wrong girl to follow me. In that case, my work was done. She must have been Julia. However, little to my knowledge at the time, that blasted medallion had the same name engraved on both sides. Martha's. So, my first assumption was correct. They were too damn smart, and had fooled both fate and me. One thing is for sure. I'll put things back where they belong. I will correct my ignorance and give fate back its blindfold.
Damn, this hurts so bad. I can hardly breathe. The ceremony is today, so I need a suitable dress. I would like to spend a moment with my sister, just me and her alone, before people arrive for the funeral and then take her away. No, my bag is not here. My diary. Lapo's letter. I'm already dressed.
How is she? How is my daughter? Please, doctor. Please give me good news.
It's a miracle she's alive, Eric, but she will be all right. The bullet passed right by her heart and exited her chest. Unbelievably, it missed her lungs, spine, and heart. She could have been paralyzed or died. But thankfully, she's fine. I examined her thoroughly. She didn't even lose that much blood. She was lucky. And you were lucky, so to speak.
She was lucky that my wife went for a walk in the woods. Otherwise,
She would have bled to death, yes.
I don't know what to say. All of this, it's too much. So much death and suffering. Nothing more.
Don't worry, Eric. She's young, so she'll recover quickly. I'll be here all day anyway.
Thank you, doctor, for everything. Do you mind coming with me to pick my wife up from the cemetery? The funeral will start soon in the chapel.
Of course not. Lead the way.
You know, with all of these preparations for the funeral, Irina wants everything to be perfect. It's her way of coping, so she doesn't have to think about everything going on. She is a woman who has suffered so much. Maybe too much.
There's my bag. Thank God. Let's hope Lapo's letter is in there. Dear Julia, are you surprised that I've addressed this to you and don't think you're dead? Everyone calls you Martha now, right? I know you too well. I can never understand why no one else can ever tell you apart. Not even your own mother and father. Martha is gone, and I cannot reconcile myself to that fact. I have to stay hidden, and sadly I can't run to you, even if I would love nothing more than to hold you tight and cry together. No words. I just want to be close to you. Can we meet in the barn tonight? I will try my best to be there around midnight. Don't be alarmed, but if things get ugly, please remember this number, 6934. He knew he was in serious danger, but what about the letter? I had it in my hand when the soldiers ran off. Mummy found me, and if she's read it, well, she hates Lapo, and now she must know who I am. No, she probably would have left me there to die. She'd rather have no daughter than the wrong one. Before I passed out, I must have put it back in my bag. There is no other explanation. There is darkness that brings uncertainty, but there will be a guide. Something that can teach me something. July 19th. I retrieved the cameras at the lake, but I had convinced myself that I was the one who had hurt Martha. So much so that when I had the rolls with me on the way home, I found myself in another horrible dream. I don't even remember going to sleep. As soon as I woke up, I developed the film. The photos confirmed to me that my memory of that night was correct. It was a great relief. I have decided to go back to the lake in an attempt to communicate with the White Lady. I know it's a crazy thought, but I can't get it out of my head. I need to know what happened to Martha, so I must pursue every possible avenue, even the path of insanity.
Violence against citizens continues in La Romola, and once again General K's family has come under fire. Now it is the life of her sister.
When it's not too
Martha,
sunny
that is
outside, the
in danger.
200 ISO film
Blow
works
from the
well.
gunshot in her back could have killed her. It is only by the grace of God that the girl is alive. The anti-fascist
General Edict K. New rules on curfew and women's behavior. German command of S. Vincenzo Arturi. Telephone number 1185.
still far from the Tavernelli Val di Pisa. The German resistance on the